Negesti is a dancer, jeweler, teacher, also up in Harlem. Hello.
Hey. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, good. I haven't done a live like this, so
you just dance on your lives?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done it on IG Live. It's been Zoom.
Awesome. Well, thanks for taking.
Well, you know what? You're right. I did do that IG Live one time, and it was just me. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for taking this step with me. I should have worn the choker you gave me.
It's okay. It's okay. You know, whenever you feel it in your spirit, that's when you wear it.
Okay. So, you're in Harlem right now?
Yes, I am. I'm in Harlem.
Awesome. It's funny. I ended up talking because Brittany's up in Harlem too.
Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I loved her work. I loved it. Like, it's beautiful. Beautiful what she's doing with her art.
Well, I like to compliment the artists I pick. The two artists that are on each show. There's a similar energy. And you guys actually were both here in my home for Treats and Beats the same night.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think you
know that.
Yeah. So it's me sharing that. But I know you are much more than just a dancer, but I want to start there. Your earliest memories of dancing. That's a question I love because I grew up in a home where we weren't allowed to dance. So
you said weren't allowed to dance?
No dance.
Oh,
no.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So I would love to hear what I assume is the opposite.
Well, yeah. So my very first memories of dancing is actually dancing to like the beginnings of like sitcoms, like Moesha and like In the House, and like I would do my little dance, and it would be like my little performance. But for a long time, actually, my family wasn't really supporting dance as like a career goal, so I actually stopped dancing. I mean, I really didn't take dancing seriously until I was like 14. And I just randomly decided to try out for a dance team. And at that point, I was just like mostly singing, in church. And that was like my creative outlet. I was doing art, visual art. And then I just like I got this group of friends that like to dance. And I was like, I want to do that. And I remember trying out, and they had practice. They had their routines ready. And they were like, just come with us. Like, just see what happens. And that's how it started, really, like me really taking the journey to be a dancer. So that's my earliest memories.
Was that the West African dance team in high school?
No. So let me be clear. The first dance team was actually junior high school. Oh, okay. But the West African dance team that I joined when I was in high school, it was actually at Williams College. So I was away at school in high school, and Williams College had an open auditions for their dance department for that particular group. And I went and I tried out. I think I was 16, 17, and I was the youngest person in the group. And it was called Kusika, and it was really like a West African dance contemporary. And that was the first time I was actually training in a way, because we did different stuff in my first dance group. It was hip hop, it was contemporary, it was West African, it was a lot of different things. This was like, we are doing West African contemporary, and I was in high school, I'm dancing with college students, so it felt more real for me, like serious for me.
Yeah, I mean that's an amazing experience to have as a high schooler.
Yeah. I mean, it was also kind of scary because I'm in high school. I still have to do all the tech rehearsals that end at like 1 a.m. and then still go to classes in the morning. It was a lot, and it like really opened me up, like what it meant to be a performer and the amount of work and time it took to commit to that.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any pre-performance rituals? Anything that you do?
I never did. I actually never did until like graduating college, and I was like on a spiritual journey, right? Because I felt like going away to school, I was removed from like my family and that spirituality that I came from, and I was questioning a lot of things. And then after college, I was like back on the track to find myself in my spirit. So Hope Boykin, she's a dancer for Alvin, Ailey. She's amazing. She's brilliant. One of my favorite dancers. And this is gonna sound kind of stalkerish, but like I was friends with her on Facebook, and she posted like this dancer's prayer, and I memorized it, and I say that prayer in my head before every rehearsal. I actually say it every day, because in my mind, like, my body, I don't know when I'm going to use my body for dance. I can use my body for dance at any point in time. So that's really my ritual, like, to just make sure that I remember that God has given me this blessing, this talent. At the end of the day, I'm doing it for that purpose.
Would you mind sharing that with us, the prayer?
I don't understand it. I feel like
that's why I asked. Totally,
I don't.
No, it's okay. That's and that's staying here.
I don't know. It's so personal.
No, okay. I'll just go to her Facebook.
It's way back. It's way back.
Yeah, no, teasing. No, that's why I asked that. But you have been doing guided dance meditations. I know performances have totally shifted this year. So what propelled you to do these guided dance meditations? And what's the difference between leading a class, like a choreography class, versus a dance meditation?
Okay. It's a great question, because when I first started this class, I really didn't think of it as dance meditation, because the concept of this class came out of me trying to figure out why I was dancing, right? Like, I got to a point where I was doing all these different styles, and I really wasn't sure if I was in my purpose, right? I know I could do all these different styles and I can fit in these different places, but how does all of this come together and work for me and what I'm supposed to do? And so I really started thinking about how dance has been a healing mechanism for me, and how I've used that as a healing mechanism. And, you know, as a child, there's a lot of things that happened in my childhood, me being different places and moving around and not having parents in my life. And I remember always turning off the lights, closing myself up in a room, and dancing, right? And I do that to this day. Whether it's like I'm really happy, or I'm really sad, or I'm nervous, or I had a long, anxious day, whatever it was, I noticed that it's still something that I did. And I realized I did it because in that moment, I feel like I am so free. There are no eyes on me. Because even as a dancer in my room, sometimes I look at myself in the mirror and I'm still critiquing myself, right? But with the lights off, it's just like I'm so free, and I can really feel all the movement in my body. So thinking about that, I said, wow. And then I was in this space where I was working on my chakra energy, and like really thinking about colors, how colors affect our emotions. And I said, you know, it's probably kind of crazy to put a whole bunch of people who don't know each other in a room and just turn off the lights and tell them to dance. That's probably going to be a little crazy. So I decided to, you know, create a mood and set like an intention around how lighting and affirmations can now guide people into that same space that I was taking myself when I turned off all the lights, right? And so when I thought about, okay, I want to guide people, I want them to get into their bodies, I want them to feel free and have a moment of using movement to heal themselves and get in tune with themselves, and then transformed into this class that was a guided meditation class. Then I realized, oh, that's what I'm doing. Yeah. So I kind of end up realizing like this is what it is versus saying I want to do this, right? And so I think the big difference in me teaching a class for the sake of technique and the sake of learning a dance style for performance and a guided dance meditation is that when I'm teaching the guided dance meditation, it's not about me trying to teach you how to look like me. It's more about me guiding you into your own space and knowing how you move naturally and finding your own style. For dancers in particularly, I created this class for them because I said, you know, there's not a lot of spaces where dancers dance and it's not a performance aspect to it. There are different like freestyle events that people do, and it's like we're freestyling, but there's still eyes and there's still a gaze. And I wanted to create a space where there's no gaze, where it's really only you. You can be in the space with someone else, but it's about the sharing of that moment, right? Like if you need to pause and just be still, then that's okay, right? And what was I saying? So for the technique part, it's completely different because you're going to class and you're like, I want to get this routine and I want to kill it in the next hour or hour and a half, right? And for me, it's a very different experience as a teacher because this guided dance meditation comes from such a personal place for me, and a place where really, when I think about it, I was closing myself off, to close the door, to take off the lights, and to have that moment. And now I'm sharing it with the world. So every time I do the class, it feels like I'm opening up myself and being vulnerable in a way that I've never been before. So that's why I would say it's a big difference, that it's a much more spiritual process that you're going through in a guided dance meditation than when you're in a class. Versus you can have a spiritual experience in a regular dance class, but you can have those moments. But the intention in a guided dance class is to really tap into your spirit and movement, through movement.
Beautifully said. Do you focus on different parts of the spirit or different parts of the body in different classes? Because I know you mentioned chakra, different parts of our body are linked to different emotions. So can you give examples of what a different class might focus on?
So I would say generally my class is taking you on a journey. So I don't necessarily focus on one thing in a class, right? My intention in my classes is so that people tap into their purpose, their goals, their inner emotions, and tapping into that feeling and knowing that you have the power to eliminate and bring into whatever you want in your life, right? It's taking and the concept is that dance is prayer. That's what I say. Dance is a prayer, right? Our ancestors, they use dance as worship and as prayer because it's an extension of a prayer. You're using words, you're using sound, and now your body is taking it into action, right? So I go through a series. We go from the heart, right? We start with the heart because a lot of times we are blocked here. And when we're blocked here, a lot of things can't flow, especially and spiritually, creatively. So there's an opening of the heart. There's a section in which you are eliminating things from your life, that you are moving in a way, and I'm sending affirmations into you so that you're focusing on that. We focus on the solar plexus because then after eliminating, we want to ground ourselves in the concept of we will and we can execute our goals. We have the confidence to execute our goals, and we trust the process, right? So you go from the heart, you go from the elimination, you go going down into grounding yourself into your purpose, your confidence, and planting those seeds. And then there's a moment to just be. Because in that process of understanding that I've opened my heart, I've let go of all the things that that's probably hurt me, trauma, guilt, shame, those things. Eliminating it, cutting it out, separating myself from those things. And tapping into my inner power, I also have to be okay with my now. I have to be okay with knowing that, yes, I did these things and I'm doing these things, but also this moment right now is a blessing. Although I know where I'm going, right? So every class is a journey, and how I tailor a class to be different is the music. The music drives the class, right? So if I know, recently it's been about, I'm still developing concepts of different, I would say, themes, right? Themes of the class. So I've been going by the moon. The moon controls our emotions, and it moves through zodiac signs every 2 to 3 days. So depending on the sign, it's either, are we going to be fiery today? Are we going to be charged up? Are we going to mellow out and smooth out our movement? Are we going to really focus on emotion? Are we going to be airy, focus on being light? And based on the sign and based on the theme, I carry the class through those affirmations, and the song choice also helps move you into that space.
Yeah,
that makes any sense.
No, it does. It's like one period in my life that I remember loving dance and releasing, but in the last few years I felt like my body very much lock up and feel very uncomfortable with expressing in that way. And I what advice would you give to someone who feels that, like, or is someone who's a beginner to dance? What advice would you give on just releasing that inhibition?
So I really do think it's about your intention for dance. Because if your intention for dance is just to really release and explore that side of yourself, open up to that side of yourself, the true thing is that remember that you're dancing for you. And even if, as a performer, remember that you're dancing for you first. You don't dance for other people. You dance for you. You dance to express your truth, right? And I notice I dance better when I'm not thinking about how people are looking at me.
Yeah.
And I also start off my class with the concept that we are all movers. You have to start from that place first. Like, dance isn't the beautiful thing about dance is that, like, dance comes from a regular day, everyday movement that people came up and said, now we're gonna replicate this, and now we're gonna manipulate it. But it all comes from regular, everyday gestures, right? So you start off as a mover. Everyone starts off as a mover, and start from that place first, because I even struggle with calling it guided dance meditation, because when people hear dance, they think like, I gotta be good at this and I have to be skilled. But movement makes people understand that, like, I move every day. Like, I move all the time. Like, if I just gotta move, then I'm here, I'm with it, I can do it.
Yeah.
So I would just say, you know, to start from that place. Start from the place of, I'm already a mover. I'm not doing this for anybody else. I'm doing it for me. And it's an extension of you expressing your emotions. I mean, I started dancing because, like, for a long time, I was scared to speak. As a child, I didn't speak a lot. I wasn't comfortable expressing my emotions in that way. So dance was a beautiful way for me to tap into expressing who I was. So yeah, I don't know if that helps at all. Because it could be hard to step into a room and just be free in that way. And it's one of the most vulnerable things we can do as human beings, is to be free with our bodies.
Yeah. So how can people join meditations? Those who are how can people join your dance meditations? When do you have them? What platform?
So right now, everything is Zoom, sadly.
Yep.
I can't have this beautiful lighting and stuff with you guys. But Zoom, I have my email is on my Instagram page. Email me, DM me. I teach every Sunday and Thursday at 7 p.m. I am going to start teaching theme-based classes monthly, so that, you know, if there's certain things that people want to work on, like, you know, if it's the heart, if it's emotions, if it's sensuality, whatever that is, that I'm gonna start those classes. So to look out for that. I will eventually have a page for my website. I'm still working on that page specifically for Eyes Unlocked, which is what I call my guided dance meditation classes, because it started in the dark. So yeah, look for it on my Instagram. I post it on my Facebook, which is Negesti Moves, and soon everything will be House of Negesti. Right now, everything's not House of Negesti, but House of Negesti will be where everything is under eventually. So I hope that
I noticed that shift, and I love it. So you also are a jewelry designer. You're with Copper, so I'm gonna show some photos here of. Yeah. And I have noticed, you know, Copper is really making a comeback lately. Why? What is the power of Copper?
I mean, it's so funny. They used to call it the red gold. Mm-hmm. That's what they call Copper, the red gold. And I think Copper is making a comeback because, you know, everything works together. You know, all the energy that's happening right now, 2020, things being revealed, the veil being lifted up, people seeing the world for what it is, and the healing that really needs to happen. I think Copper is coming back because we realize we need to be more in tune with ourselves and spirituality than ever before. And what Copper is in our bodies it helps circulate our blood flow, right? So copper, most metals are already in us, right? So copper enhances the blood flow. It's circulation. What is circulation? What is blood flow? Breath, energy, right? So when you pair copper on your body, you're also enhancing your circulation, your blood flow, right? It's known to be the best conductor of electricity on a physical level, and so on a spiritual level, it's also a conductor of spiritual energy. So for people who are into crystals and into healing themselves in that way, copper is now becoming a thing that people want to wrap their crystals with, because they know that that metal works distinctly with the spiritual and the physical, right? That is a conductor, and that it helps them with programming their crystals the way that they want it to be, right? However they want their crystals to bring positivity and manifest for them in their lives. And then you can find copper. If you have a lack of, like, if you find yourself like your circulation, your blood flow isn't circulating well, you can eat a lot of green leafy foods. It's also known to like help arthritis and people with joint pain and things like that. So yeah, I think that's why it's making a comeback overall, is that we are all realizing like how important it is to heal all around.
Beautiful. So the live, we have exactly 3 minutes in here, and I can always hop back in, but I wanted to ask you, would you prefer to do a demo of a mini dance meditation, or would you prefer to look at some of the visual art I pulled aside for you, or would you like for us to hop out and hop back in so we can do both?
I mean, we could do both.
Okay. All right, cool. Okay, so we are going to have a guided dance meditation with Negesti, and then also do a little art show and tell. Hello.
Hey.
Welcome back. All right, so I'm stepping way out of my comfort zone, but I'm going to join you for this meditation.
Okay. I'm going to lead you. So, you just want like a short 5-minute, yeah? Okay.
And if you're watching, you have to do it too. Yeah.
All right, so the first thing I will do, so you see this green light that I have behind me right now?
Yeah.
I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to get yourself in a very comfortable position. Yes, yeah. Really comfortable. Make yourself as comfortable as you can. And I want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. As you continue to take these deep breaths, I want you to do a body scan from head to toe, checking for any tension in any part of your body. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And as you scan, wherever there is tension, I want you to breathe bright light into that area, breathing in and exhaling the tension. Breathing in that bright light, see it bursting through that space, and exhaling the tension. And as you continue to breathe in this bright light, I want you to feel your body becoming very calm and at peace. Breathe here for a moment. And I want to invite you to take the palms of your hands in this moment and place it over your heart. And as you continue to breathe, I want you to see a bright green light filling your heart and chest space. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathe in that bright green light of love. And exhale anything that no longer serves you. Breathing in that bright green light of love. It is circulating inside of you, and it is so powerful that it's eliminating any energy that doesn't serve your divine self. Breathing in that bright green light of love and see it swirling in your heart and chest space. And as you continue to breathe, I want you to say to yourself, my vision of love is clear. I am a magnet for love. Love flows effortlessly through me. I am open to conscious connections. I am open to those who are worthy of my trust and my love. I am worthy of soul deep connections. And I attract only high vibration relationships. Now I want you to see that bright green light growing inside of you, growing through your neck, into your abdomen, into your legs, now into your arms, and finally into your head. You are filled with the divine light of love. The divine light of love that you can always tap into because it's always resting in your heart space. Feel this moment. Feel love flowing through you, cleansing you, renewing you, bringing you peace, bringing you compassion, allowing you to forgive anyone or anything you still need forgiveness for. Letting it go and loving freely. So in this next session, as we dance and as you move, you can stay in the space that you are right now. You can stay on the floor, sitting down, laying down, however that is. But whatever you decide to do, I want you to move from a place of love. I want you to extend your arms out. And I want the motion to be that you are receiving. So after you bring it in this way, in going low and up, but however you decide to bring that love in and feel that love flowing through you, I want you to do that, okay? So I'm going to put on the music and we're just going to move as fast as you want to, as slow as you want to, medium speed, whatever it is. See yourself surrounded by this green, bright love of light. Can you hear the music?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right. Here we go. Bring it in. Feel your fingertips. And I want you to see yourself gathering love into your heart space. You are gathering and bring it in. And if you feel like getting up, you can get up and move. Good job. Here we go. Yes.
You look great.
All right, Sadaf. And take it to here. And 1. And 2. And 3. And 4. This is you embracing yourself. Getting in touch with that heart space. Feeling love at your center. And yeah, now stretching out again, extend. And bring it in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, all right. Get it to that. And baby out. And bring it in. Take it out. And bring it in. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And take a moment to just bask in the essence of yourself. To appreciate this body that you're in. If it is that you have to rub on yourself and feel. Remembering that this love, this light of love is always here with you. Yes, to comfort you, to give you energy, and to provide you with your light. Yes, all right.
Oh, that's really nice. This is what I did today. I needed to, so.
Yes, and if you just want to stay here, that's fine. So usually in my classes, I just let you go. Mm-hmm. Like you just gotta go. I tell people to move all around their room. I tell them to take up space. But I know we're on IG Live and we can't move the camera around. We want to be in the center so people can see us. But really, I wouldn't even want you to look at me. Mm-hmm. I would want you to just go do your own thing, right? But for the purpose and the sake of what we're doing here, yes. But the essence is that, you know, feel and appreciate this. Sometimes we want people to touch us, and we want people to touch us gently, but we don't even touch ourselves gently. We don't even give ourselves that affection. So in that moment, it really is to say, I'm full with love. And I can give that to myself first before I want it from somebody else. But yes, that's the taste.
Thank you. It just.
And Sadaf, you did so well. You did so well, Sadaf. I'm proud of you. Yes. Yes.
Say more. It gives me a great perspective on how you are as a guide, and I felt comfortable and I felt cared for, and I think that's key if someone is coming to you for these classes. So I'm so glad those of you who also did it. Yay
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I read this earlier, but I'm going to read it now before I show you some of the art. A piece of your statement, and I used that when I was selecting the pieces I wanted to show you today. So you wrote in your artist statement that Negesti's choreographic work aims to tell the story of the spiritual warfare that is occurring in the Black female body. Her work evokes the emotional and physical journey that one takes in fighting through the socioeconomic conditions that have been placed on women of color. And so I kept that in mind when I selected these few pieces, and I wanted to just share them with you and receive your thoughts on them.
Okay.
Great. Okay, this is by an artist named Chuck Styles, and I'm gonna flip it with so you can see the full. I know it's a little small, and then I'm gonna flip it back out so you can see the detail.
I'm making out some of the words. It says freedom.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want me to talk about what I think about the photo, what it's trying to, the piece of what it's trying to say?
Yeah.
Well, one, this is so powerful because it's the color of the Pan-African flag, right? The red, black, and green. And it was made out of intentions to free Black people of the concept that we had to be under this under all the Eurocentric flags that our countries are under, right? But also, it reminds me of the fact that a Black woman designed the American flag. You know, a lot of people don't know that. I'm forgetting her name right now. But, like, there is this history of Black women upholding this country and people not knowing and giving us credit for it. So to wear that and to wear that symbolism of freedom and that new purpose of the flag, that new purpose of those colors, and to show the heroine, you know, us as a heroine, that we're usually not given the recognition that we should. It's very powerful. I think that's a very powerful piece.
I love the way you received that. Okay, this is the cool one. Let's see. So my friend did this piece after he had a dream where he saw me planting and
I didn't hear what you said, love. You said planting what?
My friend made this after a dream where he saw me planting things in a garden, but my hands were made of vines. Yeah.
When I look at this, it's so sensual.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the bodies are in a good space. There's greenery, which signifies that there's abundance, but the redness on the body and this kind of like web-like connection, it's as if like the spirit it's like if the spirit is looking over the body to me.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. I feel as if like there's a spirit trying to reach out to a body that is in distress. Is what I see. And there's also this over-sexualization of the body in a way, because it's just there, it's just bare. And I feel like that is sometimes how we feel. And we feel that sense of just being naked, being open to be attacked, you know, that there's no protection. But that there's this thing that's looming over us. I don't know, because
it's complicated.
It's complicated. This thing feels like it's looming, and I'm not sure if it's reaching out to help, or if it's just a reflection.
Yeah.
I will take it as a reflection because he connected that web-like thing to the both of them. So I would think that is the connection of like what is also happening in spirit, or spirit trying to reach out.
Beautiful. I love hearing your interpretation. Oh, really good.
I don't know if I'm the best interpreter of painting.
That's perspective. No, I actually love the way you describe, because you look at the feeling of it, and that's why I asked this question. Even someone who's not a non-visual artist, which you are as well, in my perspective. So that's by an artist named Little Black Goat. Now, my last question is, do you find yourself spending time with certain colors? Like, are you particularly pulled to green at the moment?
Well, honestly, the colors that always follow me is red. I always find myself with reds, blues, like red and that turquoise blue. Love it. I find it everywhere. I'm drawn to it. And brown.
Okay.
And brown. Yeah. So it wasn't until I was moving into my space and I was bringing all my stuff together and trying to figure it out, and I realized that these colors are they're always following me. Oh, I'm gravitating to it all the time. But red is a color I'm always gravitating to. But purple is my favorite color, which is so funny. I don't buy things in purple, but I love that lavender color. I love the smell of lavender. But I find myself drawn to more burgundy, reds, blues. Yeah.
Well, red and blue make purple. That makes sense.
Right. You know what? That's right.
Yeah.
That's probably it. That's probably it. But like, I don't buy purple though. I don't buy purple things. I don't wear it as often.
Well, you look great. I am excited to share. You have a flyer for your guided dance meditations. I'm going to share that so folks who are watching who might want to join can join. But I think I'm going to need to make it to the next one because I think
Yay!
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sadaf. I mean, thank you for bringing me and inviting me. This has been, you have great questions. You lead very well. It's a pleasure to speak with you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, love.
Finally got to collaborate.
I know, right? Well, no, we first collaborated because you modeled for me. I take that as a collaboration, even though it wasn't planned.
Even though you had to bring me out of my shell then, too.
Exactly. I think that's what I do.
Yeah,
and you do, too.
I need more people like that from me because I do that a lot for others. So I need people in other ways. So
I'm here for you, babes. I'm here for you.
Likewise.
Thank you. Mwah.
Mwah.
Enjoy. Take care.
Bye. So thank you guys for joining. That was heART Talk. Next week, Flash will be back interviewing Miss Clarity and Kahim Archer. We will see you then.